Hello everyone, this video is to compare the Glock 34 Gen 4 versus the Canik TP9 SFx. Which one is a better value? The Glock 34 comes with two 17-round magazines. The Canik TP9 SFx comes with two 20-round magazines. The Canik comes with three magazine release, a small, medium and large, and I have a medium on this gun. And the Glock comes with, and I would think that's the only size, a regular magazine release, because my friend who lent me that gun would have put the extended magazine release on. So that is not as good on the Glock as the Canik is. Let's move up. Oh my god. The trigger on the Canik is amazing. Look at this preset. I will say this is possibly the best striker fire trigger on the market right now. Let's take a look at the Glock. It is a Glock trigger and a Glock reset. Nothing fancy here. Let's move up to the slide release. I hate the slide release on the Canik. Why? Because when I shoot, I put my hands like anybody else this way, and I have a tendency to push up on the slide release. So sometimes my slide will lock up and I still have a full magazine. On the Glock, this does not happen. The hand will be far away from the slide release. So the slide release is a lot better. I hope and I wish Canik thought better about the design and put that extension here toward the back. Like the Glock, exactly like the Glock. I mean, Canik is great at cloning guns. They should have cloned this from the Glock. Let's move up to the sights. Glock sights, typical Glock, plastic, but those ones are adjustable. Nothing fancy. The Canik has black on the back and fiber red on the front. Extremely good sights. Plus the cutout of the worn sights, as you can see, is slightly cut on each side, which gives you a better radius of what you are seeing with your eye when you're not looking, or even if you are looking at your sight. The Glock is blocked on each side. Now, both guns can be mounted with optics. Some people will complain that if you mount an optic on the Canik, you will have to remove the rear sight. But look at the Glock. Even so, you have a very low profile optic, you cannot see the front sight with the optic. If you lose your light on the optic, you cannot see your front sight this way. So, pointless. What else do we have on the outside? The well is about the same opening on both guns. So no winner here. Size-wise, absolutely identical in many ways. I mean, one gun will hide the other because they are the same size. There is definitely a 4 ounce difference. The Glock is 26 ounces, the Canik is 30 ounces. So 4 ounces difference, I don't know if this makes much difference. Let's take a look. Oh, I forgot the back strap here. The Glock comes with two, and the Glock comes with two, and the Canik comes with two as well. So that's a wash. Let's take those two guns apart. Very easy to take apart. And I will say more than easy, is identical. The Glock comes with a dual spring, and well, let's remove the barrel. Super easy to take apart, but most of you own a Glock already, so you know that. It is not a surprise. And the firing pin? Well, the Canik is as easy. The spring, the barrel, and the firing pin. All right. So what are the differences? Definitely not the barrel. They are almost the same size. Let's see. See, almost. And the thickness of the wall are identical. The chambers are almost identical, and I bet you using the Canik you won't have any reloading issue, as the Glock can create some problems for reloaders. But except for that, they are identical. Firing pins. I know Canik had some issue with a firing pin. They sometimes broke on the pin, but Century knows that, and Century Arms will send you a replacement if your pins breaks. So identical. Now, springs. The Glock comes with a competition spring. The Canik comes with a standard spring made for hot ammunition, and it will not work for light load for competition. So you will need to spend money on a new recoil spring, and so doing that you will have automatically to replace the recoil spring on the firing pin. This is a Springco from the Walther PPQ with a white spring, and this is a red 28 Newton on the firing spring. And for the inside, this is very comparable. The trigger arm is a little bit different, as is the trigger. We talked about it, the slide release is a pin on the Canik, much better on the Glock. Glocks, by the way, come with millions of aftermarket parts, some reliable and watch out, some not too reliable. The Canik does not come with too many aftermarket parts, but you can scavenge a lot of parts from other guns. For example, the Glock 17 spring will work in the Canik as the firing pin spring. The slide, same thing, very comparable. The safety block is in the same location. The takedown is also as easy from one to the other, but a little bit different. The Cerakote on the Canik and the, I forgot what finish is on the Glock, are both extremely well made, good finishes. So not much differences overall. We already went through the weight, the magazine release, the slide release, the magazine capacity. What else? The springs, and that's the main difference on the sights. So the Canik is, we can get it a bit shy of $500 on the market. The Glock about $600, so $100 difference. But you will need on the Glock to upgrade the trigger, to upgrade the sights. On the Canik, the sights are good as is, and the trigger is again the best in the market. So you might up spending possibly another $400 on the Glock, which end up being a total of $1,000. That's without the optic. As on the Canik, you will probably spend another $100 for the springs, and that's it. So it will be at the end $600 versus $1,000. The best value goes to the Canik. So two very good guns. If you are into competition, I don't know which one will be your favorite, but that's your call. any which way you go, you won't be wrong. It's just a question of money at this point. So until next time, see you guys.